Well, in truth, we're actually we're almost 90 minutes away from the premiere, 90 minutes. And 60 of those minutes are going to be used by screening the film one more time, checking the print, making sure everything looks good. And those next 30 minutes, I'm going to get dressed up, I'm going to endure the excruciating heat. It's going to sort of bear me down, but all right, that's what I got to do. I don't know, I've seen this film, I'm pretty happy with the way it is, but more or less I'm more excited that people are going to go see it. I'm more excited that, you know, lots of people are going to come see it, and I mean, there's a lot of hard work that went into this and definitely needs the proper, you know, premiere status, I would say. I'm Joe Carabeo, and this is Cinemaphiles. Well, the Madcap Three, it's sort of hard just to narrow down what exactly the story is. There's a lot of intertwining stories. But basically the main focus of the whole film is basically a girl, she is a witness to an accidental killing. And basically that sets off like a whole spreading of like stories that intertwine like at the very end. Hello? Hey, I was wondering if you guys can put up one of my posters?
Sure.
It's, I'm promoting for a feature film actually that's playing at the Bird on July 22nd.
Awesome.
Approval?
Yes.
Let me just put it up right here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Thanks.
Is this something you did?
Yeah, or our production.
Awesome.
You should come out and see it.
When is it?
July 22nd.
What night is that? Friday?
Saturday night, 8 o'clock. So let me show you something first. See, I made two different posters. One that are specifically for, you know, everyone else, the guys, and one is made for girls. This is the guy poster. And hopefully for the girls, this is the girl poster. So it has a little bit of romance in it. I'm gonna try one on a girl's store. Ha, it's not open. This is ridiculous, man. Everything's opening at 11 or 10. The discouraging thing happens when it sort of starts to lose its fun, and you know, I don't really like the fact that there's so much politics involved, and I'm very discouraged about that. I don't like the fact of it's all about who you know instead of what you've done, because I really don't like that. But then I can't say that I'm completely free of judging people by who I know and stuff like that. I mean, it just helps, you know, I understand the fact that you get around in this business by who you know, because truthfully, you can't really promote someone that you haven't seen before. I mean, it helps. If you're used to someone's work, then of course, and you know them, of course you can promote them and you can push them and you can be established with them. Big time my influences have to come from my parents, but creatively my influences come from Bruce Timm, Tim Sale, Paul Dini, Joss Whedon. Big time, one of my biggest influences is Billy Wilder. He's one that makes me want to make films. When I watch his films, he makes me want to make films. Yeah, overall, also just like witnessing life in a way, because a lot of people are funny, and I like to exploit that. I'm always checking to see if people actually put up a poster after they said they would. But these guys, I don't know. this need. I asked them the other time to put up a poster. Oh, they put it up. I'm happy. A whole lot of bad words are gonna come out of my mouth. Hey, I'm doing well. I'm promoting for a feature film that's playing at the Firehouse Theater on July 22nd. I was wondering if you guys be willing to put up a promotional poster.
Definitely. Definitely.
Cool. Thanks. You can never trust that they're gonna actually put the poster up if you give it to them by their hand. I always like to be the one that puts the poster up myself, because usually if I just give it to them, who knows, they might just throw away like instantly, and then I just wasted like $3 on a poster. Where do I come from? Like origin-wise?
Yeah.
Well, my parents are full Filipino, so that makes me full Filipino. But I was born in Washington, D.C., and I grew up here in North Virginia. So that makes me basically full Filipino, Americanized all the way. Personal life, I got a girlfriend. She's the freaking coolest girl I've ever known. She's more of like a friend. We work constantly with each other, like on designs for posters, making films, making comic books, everything. It's just, you know, one of those main muses, inspirations that if I were to talk about it, I'd go on and on. So I'm going to try to limit myself here. So basically, this is where I work. I basically wanted to surround myself with everything that inspires me. So that's what we have here. We have some musical equipment in case I get bored, and also when my band plays. We have some posters here from from every single one of my inspirations, from comic books to designers to photographs that I produced, photographs that I lit. Yeah, and this is the place where I try to hang out. This is where after I'm done, I print a DVD, I come watch it over here. Sometimes it has cable. Over there, you got my research material, got my movies, got my posters, got my VHS. My VHSs are very important. This is one thing I gotta come across, is that ever since like fifth grade, I have recorded on VHS or everything that I have enjoyed on TV. You can research my taste and everything I've ever loved in my VHS collection on this over there, and also up in my room. Everything that I've ever watched in my whole entire life has been recorded. Yeah, and usually I have it down here. It's pretty dimly lit, and I can roll around and have all this free space. But yeah, this place is really important to me because I really like basements. I like staying in areas where I can't tell that time is moving, and I just sort of create my own environment. And this is what we got here. We got my own sanctuary.
Hello? Are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Somebody is following me.
So what am I supposed to do about it? I'm not a cop or anything.
I don't know, maybe I could hang around you or something, like you could be my guardian devil.
Yeah, I don't babysit.
Look, you looked like you wanted to help me earlier today.
That was earlier.
Okay, maybe this will change things. Hi, I'm Belle Brandt.
How does that change things?
Now you know my name. And look at me. Do I look like trouble?
No, which usually means yes.
But now that you know my name, we're connected, and the more that you know about me, the more you have no choice but to help me. Like, my favorite color is green. I like Christmas lights. I like beagles.
Okay, so the timeline of Madcap was really crazy. We had not planned to make Madcap. me and Brian didn't plan on making anything called Madcap. We didn't plan on making another film noir film. Basically, we finished Thin Walls and we wanted to make another project. We just finished Fairy Tale, and in Fairy Tale, we have sort of a light abduction, like a blinking light abduction. And basically what we wanted to do was make that into a full film. We thought that would be cool. Like, what type of drama, like an invasion drama. We wanted to build an invasion drama. Like, what happens if these two characters are on the run and they have a relationship with each other and they know that they can't run anymore, and they, but basically I wanted to sort of create a short piece that was centered around two characters that are being torn apart, like by things that they couldn't control, and they kept on fighting to stay together, and somehow they had their final moment together. I just wanted to have like a final moment, like that final romantic moment that, you know, two people can have. But after a while, that thing became like massive, and now that's on the back burner. And what happened was, we stuck with the idea of sticking people outside in the middle of nowhere, and that's how the idea of the driving scene being stuck out in the middle of nowhere came out in Madcap. So I took that part of the story, and then with that, you know, with just a bunch of ideas, I went up to Brian Sarvis, and it's like, hey, I have this sort of outline, I have this plot that I want to do with this, you know, like someone trying to get rid of a body. And then I think I also wanted to do something, because I was watching a lot of Batman animated series, and I had this episode called Growing Pains, and I wanted to do something with a girl that was a runaway, because I really like that imagery of, I like the type of story that where, you know, sort of you meet this random girl, and you know, you don't know what happened to her, and you know, you just sort of have an adventure. She sort of takes you onto a new world, and then that's where the character of Belle Brandt came in. You know, she ran into Edric Edwards, and you know, that's how their story branches off. And we always randomly see this girl, and she's like a runaway, a stray cat, and you know, we just sort of meshed those stories together, and you got the Madcap 3.
No, it's just a film club. Yeah.
We're gonna watch the Madcap 3, and we're gonna do the final and official commentary. This is Brian Sarvis. This is co-director. That's right. My name is Joe Carabeo, and we're almost ready to go. What we're doing?
Have to hold it if we're gonna leave it there.
Is it?
We might be able to prop it. Get some more gaff tape. Make this work.
Yeah, but that gaff tape's gonna freaking rip off.
Give me a pole and some gaff tape.
Now,
Yeah,
can we
you're
use
probably
this?
right.
Well, Cooney, what we're doing right now is we're hooking up a mirror so we can
Let me do it that.
So we can shoot the camera and slate with the audio in the back. This is really ghetto style, but this is how we do it, and this is our tradition. So we're trying to shoot the camera so we can hit the television screen and sync that up with the movie while also having us on camera at the same time.
Just trying to make things harder than they have to.
Well, what you guys are watching now is, I don't know what number of film it is. What's like our 6th film together?
Yeah, basically.
And this film was called Madcap 3. It is not Madcap Part 3. It is not Madcap Sequel 3. It's just
Sequel 3.
Yeah.
But I have a good question about the title, and I thought about this earlier today.
And you're gonna ask me about that now?
Yeah, I am gonna ask you, because you know what I just thought about? I've never actually asked you. You came up to me one day and was like, yeah, we're gonna name it Madcap 3, and I was like, alright, sounds catchy, it sounds good to me. But I never knew why you came up with that.
Well, I think we were in the car that one time and we were driving and we just written the script, and you're like, oh, people have been asking, what have you guys been writing? And if you remember, the original title was The Final Tale of the Madcap 3. And you know, for a time that was the whole working title. And like that was the only way I can describe what happens in the actual whole movie. Like, oh, it's just a big madcap adventure. But it, you know, and that just sort of grew to, oh, the film is now called the Final Tale of the Madcap 3, and then it was the Madcap, and then like, no, we gotta keep the 3 in there, and then it was just turned into the Madcap 3, and then we just never changed it after that. Several people have asked us,
who are the Madcap Three? And I don't know who they are.
Well, I would say that if you remember originally, if any of y'all out there have seen our films, you've seen Thin Walls.
The way I prepare for a film, the way I prepare for an exhibition is strenuous. I check every single small thing. Knowing that I have a date to show the film, sometimes that just kicks me into the next gear, because now I know, like, oh, people are going to come watch this. Now I got to make this the best thing that I've ever produced in my whole entire life. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter if I made it 3 years ago, 5 months ago, if it's purple, yellow, or green. If I'm showing someone something that has my name on it, I would like that to be the best thing, hopefully, that they've seen all day, all night. And that'll just be my goal. I mean, if my name is on it, I'd like it to be really great. Who doesn't want something they've worked on to be great? So, but preparation, hours in front of the computer, burning discs, watching the discs, making sure there's no glitches on them. Just lots of detailed work that a lot of people would think trivial, but at the end of the day, if someone sees a glitch on your film, that sort of takes them out of the moment, and that's the last thing I want to happen when someone's watching my film, is to be taken out of the moment that I'm trying to, you know, create a moment for people. And, you know, that's why I don't like when people talk in the theater either, but I like it sometimes when I know what I'm watching isn't worth it.
I know you're upset. You have every right to be upset. Believe me, if the situation were reversed, I'd be upset too. Our actions tonight were completely unprofessional. And on behalf of the three of us, I apologize. I accept full responsibility for what happened tonight, and I promise you, Miss Van Dorn, I promise you that this will never happen again in the future.
So, tell me, boys, have you ever raised the dead? James?
I don't know.
Edric? Stiles?
No, ma'am.
So, did you all assume that I could?
No.
Then why do we have the dead body of Johnny Franco laying in a trunk, gentlemen? You made a mess. And you know who I am, Stiles, and you know that I can't have any sort of dead body connected to the Van Dorns. Do I have to review the policy? You're still clear on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Stiles, Mr. Clean, do your job. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, it's just like when musicians have to play the same song over and over again, and they have to play that, you know, that tune for like years. And when they write their next song, of course they're gonna get tired of, oh, I gotta use the same chord structure. And, you know, you're gonna get tired of doing certain things, so you try to experiment. And then, to me, I started out doing television production. Everything's 3-point lighting. Everything is plow, kaplow, kaplow, backlight. Everything is perfect, crisp, and a perfect image. So they say. It's not a perfect image. It's the complete opposite of a perfect image. It's a manufactured image. It's a manufactured image that has no problems. But the truth is, everything we see in reality has problems, have faults. And, you know, me switching over to handheld was just a way of actually making the world that we're living in the film more real. It doesn't mean you can't use that shot, but as handheld, it sort of represents being that viewer, being humanistic, humanizing the camera in a sense, to make it flow, to make it sort of feel like the camera is human now. And I just love the look of I love the look of handheld. It really it truthfully feels like, you know, you're getting an original, each time you're getting an original shot. Each time you do a handheld, there's no way you can perfectly, perfectly reproduce the last shot you did. So each time it's like you're doing something new each and every single moment instead of just putting it on a tripod. So it's good for, it's good as a director, good as a camera operator, or good as a DP. Maybe not good for a camera operator because he has to hold the camera the whole time, which probably makes all the faults, but it keeps everything interesting. It keeps everything lively. So, what are you doing right now? I am opening up. I bought on eBay the original Warrior magazine, which it's a comic book, but it's in a magazine size, and it was written and produced in 1981, and it has, this print has the original. Warrior Comics basically was a UK publishing for darker comic books, and all written by Alan Moore and someone else. I forgot who it is. But they took over Marvel Man. They took Marvel Man basically, who was in a sense historically a response to Captain Marvel / Shazam. How much? I mean, earliest memory. My friend Colin Henry, and back in early elementary school, he gave me a Batman comic book. Boom, right there, biggest influence ever. Got the darkness from it. Got the sort of, I sort of wanted to have an appearance of whenever I walk into a room, someone would be like on the edge of their seat, because he always has that when he's with the JLA. The simplified lines. I always copied his color scheme. I'm a huge fan of the Joker. Huge fan of Harley Quinn. Hey, we're gonna go to the comic book store. This is where I go every single week, sometimes twice a week. Long Halloween style. Very film noirish in the way it is, but instead of me typically saying I was influenced by, say, like 40s films, like film noirish, I was mainly influenced by the style of Jeff Loeb, the way he draws. Not Jeff Loeb, but Tim Sale, the way he draws. Because I love the way Tim Sale draws, even though it's very influenced by the hard-boiled black and white era. But the way he composes shots. Like lots of, he likes to use the frame as a weapon. He likes to, he likes to fill in, he likes to use negative gaps. He's very simple about his design. And that's a huge influence on the way I compose images. And also the way I tell a story. And also he likes to use a certain amount of black, and I like to do that too. So it's weird when people would go like, oh yeah, your films are more or less in this style of like that age of like the, Touch of Evil or Double Anonymity. I can just go ahead and say like, hey, it's actually more like Long Halloween or Dark Victory. Because these are shots that I look at in my head. I'm like, I want to put that into a frame. The premiere of the Madcap 3 was sort of surreal. It had sort of the elements of like, we could fail. Had sort of the elements of like, we might as well just do it. It's like all these emotions at me coming at me at once that I was sort of just numb to everything. I was just, I just wanted to focus. I just wanted to focus on point A, point B, point C, and then just push everything out. Yeah, I thought it went really well. There were no glitches on the tape. We punched the sound just a small bit, just to give it a little small kick. It worked out pretty well. I spent a lot of money promoting it, and I saw a lot of people I've never even seen before go to films, and that was really cool. I don't know what I can do better, but make a better film. But I think overall it was very positive. I'd like to show it again. I think that's the key thing, because I want to show that film again. It doesn't matter where it is. but I'm happy that people came out and saw my film. I'm just hoping that they, they tell people, hey, Joe's a filmmaker. Hey, not only is he a filmmaker, but he's a director, and maybe he does a good job. Maybe he's really into stories. It's not my decision to make. After the Madcap is there, I can just let it free. Let it fly. Good job, team. Good job. Filmmaking has basically, filmmaking is me. It's not even basically, it's not an extension of me. It's not a part of me. It is me. Everything that has to do with filmmaking, storytelling, it is basically part of me. To the point of everything that I've experienced, everything that I'm mad at, everything that I have, that has happened in me will show up in my films.